All right, you guys, what's going on? All right, so we are in the midst of this Steve Smith extramarital affair with another woman who was having an extramarital affair. Apparently, she works for the Baltimore Ravens. Is damn near identical to Udoka, who basically was ran out of Boston because he had an inappropriate affair. Basically, now they're calling it a entanglement. But both people involved are married, and the thing is with Steve Smith, Tony Martinez, who is basically having an understandable meltdown, and basically he put this woman on blast. He basically uh, got access to all her social media accounts, and he put her on blast, saying that this woman has been convicted twice of domestic violence, and you bought her a house, and apparently they have a son together. Um, I didn't know if they had children together. I knew Steve Smith had children with this woman that he was married to. Uh, man, Steve Smith really liked that milk, don't he? He really liked dipping in that milk. Um, the thing is, what's very sad and disturbing about it is apparently that Steve Smith wasn't even using a rubber. And that could have just backfired in so many different ways. If you, his wife, and you're hearing about the extramarital affair, not only is your husband having an extramarital affair, he's not using protection. Now, just imagine had this woman, you know, her name, hasn't been revealed, but I'm pretty sure it's just a matter of time before people find out her name. Can you just imagine being Tony Martinez, and you found out your wife was cheating on you and she was letting a dude basically shoot up the club? And I do think that he should go have a DNA test, because basically the text messages, which I don't know how the hell he got a hold of the text messages, and obviously this woman isn't good at covering her track. First of all, I don't condone adultery in any way, shape, or form. But due to the fact that basically both Steve Smith and this woman was irresponsible with their extramarital affairs, you start to think. And if you Tony Martinez, you like, have she ever done this before? So I do think that he needs to go have a DNA test and make sure that that is his biological child. And for God's sake, I hope so. You don't want to be hit with the double whammy. And based off how this woman was talking, she basically said, man, I thought you was about to I don't want to go into deep details, but basically she was saying that Steve Smith was breaking her off. That I guess that little Steve Smith ain't exactly little. So, and I don't want to go deep into that, but apparently he was going very deep in her. And she was saying how she loved how he basically blast off at her. So, like, I think Tony, and I'm serious, I think Tony Martinez, I need for him, for his own sanity, and for him not to go do nothing stupid, because he's apparently traumatized by this. I do think that he needs to go get help. I think he needs to go get help because he's traumatized and he's hurt. Now, I'm going to pay very close attention how the media is going to handle this. Are they going to put the sole blame on Steve Smith? Now, does Steve Smith deserve to get ripped to shreds? Yeah. But should the woman be getting the pass? Will we see basically a repeat cycle of what happened with Emi Udoka, where basically everybody put this on him? Where basically you had people like Malika Andrews basically saying, we're not going to blame. Of course you got to blame her. She opened up her legs like a TV antenna, and she was letting Steve Smith slide up in her raw. Now, what if a me, myself, and Irene situation happened? All kind of stuff could have happened. So, like I said before, these things are very complicated because, like I said, when there's children involved, you know, I'm pretty sure Steve Smith's children know about this by now. Can you imagine them going to school, hearing about this? There's text messages being put out. Then you have to ask yourself, how's the NFL network going to handle this situation? Do they have what you call, does he have a moral clause in his contract? I'm pretty sure he does. Because basically Tony Martinez sent this to the NFL. He sent this to the Baltimore Ravens. And basically, based off, what he wrote on her Facebook page, basically he's saying that this woman has a very questionable character. You married a woman, or you was with a woman that got convicted for domestic violence? And it's funny how men are dragged through the mud who commit domestic violence, but apparently she has two convictions for domestic violence, and she's still allowed to work for the Baltimore Ravens organization. Wait a minute, isn't this the same Baltimore Ravens organization that ran Ray Rice out of town? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Am I correct, y'all? Isn't this the same Baltimore Ravens? And I'm pretty sure they did a background check. Isn't this the same Baltimore Ravens organization that ran Ray Rice out of town? Not Ross, Ray Rice. Can somebody help me with that? Is this for real? Is this the same Baltimore Ravens organization that ran Ray Rice out of town? Where basically everybody saw that video, and that was an unfortunate situation. Ray Rice was totally wrong. So I'm like, wow. Very interesting. So now you have to question the Baltimore Ravens. And, this is always a slippery slope with that situation when it pertains to these type of issues. They love to say that a man under no circumstances should have an incident where physical violence is involved, in particularly initiated on a woman. Now, I don't know what her situation is, but apparently, according to Tony Martinez, she has 2 convictions for domestic violence. And he bought her a house. And now, was this before she got with you or while you were married, and are you the victim? And you decided to stay with somebody like that, Tony? Man, you really loyal to the soil. But apparently she isn't very loyal to you. So like I said before, I'm very curious to see how the media is going to handle this, because I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be talking about this today. Because due to the fact Steve Smith is black, he may be light-skinned, but he's black. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have something to say about this. I don't know what the NFL network is going to do, because like I said, I don't know if he has what you would call a moral clause in his contract. We would have to see. But this isn't a good look for him. And you have to say, damn, Steve, how could you be so irresponsible? How could you be so reckless? How can you disrespect your family like that? Because I'm not just worried about, his wife, but man, kids. I'm more worried about the kids and what they're going to go through, because people could be cruel. People could be cruel. And like I said before, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with this. And I want to see how the Baltimore Ravens organization is going to respond, because like I said before, this is the same Baltimore Ravens organization that said they were disgusted by what happened with Ray Rice. but yet you have a person that's working for your organization that was convicted for domestic violence not once but twice. Wow. But anyway, you guys, appreciate y'all tapping in. We'll talk about this more. This is your boy Town. I'm out.